And I honestly want to wish you the best luck, but I have serious issues with Tusla, and Kate will be familiar with some of the stuff that I've brought up over the years. There's one particular case that I have been working on for well over a year, and that is to do with unaccompanied minors. And this is what I want you to do. I want you to be better at what we do. There was a case in May 2022 where we had, obviously with the Ukrainian war, we had a charity that took in 113 adults, and there was 59 of those children that were unaccompanied. So obviously they just landed into the airport. Tusla had no idea that they were coming, and on the spot guardianship was given to some of the adults that were on the same flight as those children. On the spot guardianship. There was no involvement with Tusla in relation to the vetting. You seem to have washed your hands of it. You didn't even none of these children were looked after by Tusla at all. You've wiped your hands clean of it. So there was no investigating in relation to the vetting of the families that the children went to. So my question is, should that happen again, and should children land in large numbers, even 6 or 8 children come in, unaccompanied minors come in on a given day? How are you going to handle that in the future?
I can't comment on the particular case.
But do you think that's right? Do you think that on-the-spot guardianship should be given to children that arrive in, unaccompanied minors? Should that be the way things run?
Yeah.
I'm very familiar with the case, Deputy.
Yeah.
We were actually in here in the Oireachtas when we came out and got the phone call to say that because I think that only happened once, so we're referring to the same issue.
But it could happen again.
It could, but my understanding is that nobody knew across government that this was happening, and this was a private arrangement, and that the individual parents of those children gave permission for the adults on the group to be the guardians for their children. It was a time of significant crisis in Ukraine. And
that's not what happened.
In terms of, it was never referred to Tusla. I'm not very happy to deal with that in particular issue, but my recollection of the event was that parents wanted to get their children, out of Ukraine, and there was an opportunity through this mission, and that they had already made private arrangements with families in the particular part of the country in terms of kind of respite and holiday break. But certainly I'm not familiar with a particular case, but delighted to talk to you offline on it.
Yeah, but some of those children were obviously moved on then to homes in the area in Mayo and outside of Mayo, and they didn't stay with that guardian that was appointed at the airport.
Deputy Keogan, they're not going to be able to talk about specific cases.
No, I know that, but this is real concerning, because it's going to happen again, because we're dealing with war. We're dealing with war throughout the world. And
Deputy Senator Keogan, they cannot talk about specific cases. Take the specific
I understand that, but in the future, should that happen again? Tusla didn't really get involved after that. After that day, there was nothing really that Tusla did in relation to duty of care to those individual children.
Senator, you're still talking about a specific case.
I know, but should it happen again, will Tusla take a more active role in unaccompanied minors coming in to the state in large numbers?
So I have to say, Tusla take a completely active role in terms of unaccompanied minors coming to the States. So if you talk, we receive our referrals from the International Protection from the Department of Justice.
Yes.
So where a young person arrives unaccompanied, it is up to the Department of Justice to complete the age assessment for that young person. Should they believe them to be a minor, they then refer them to Tusla. And when we get a referral, we act on that referral, and that's around determining the safety, to determine are they with an adult, to determine if they need to come into the care of the state. And so we have about 130 unaccompanied minors currently who are in the care of the state. It is deemed that they need to come into care. And the others were of an appropriate age, almost 17 and almost 18, that they're being accommodated by us under Section 5 of the Act. So where Tusla receives a referral, that referral is made, and we act on that referral in terms of the information available to us to know is support needed or if there's any risk to the child's safety.
I just feel that those children were let down very badly, and that is my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Please like and share.